Ever since we humans started to become aware of our capabilities, we also started to understand the potential the environment possesses to increase our survival rate. Indeed, Mother Nature is brutal, but living species can adapt to the rapid changes of the planet. To endure the harsh conditions of the Earth, we created numerous technological advancements that contributed to the evolution of human development. With continuous urbanization and modernization, society demands more technology. However, the innovations we have are the major contributors to the depletion of life quality of all species. As we progressed in time, technology grew more complicated as we dive deeper into the world of science. But is advancing with technology the only root cause of environmental depletion? Without further ado, let's break down to the crucial pointers of the Breath of the Wild. Earth is a unique planet as it is the only planet that can sustain life in the solar system as we know it. The presence of water is the main reason for the life on Earth, but there is another component that supports life: air. The evolution of life forms has helped to produce the present atmosphere layers. We may never see it or feel it, but the air is all around us. It is composed of different elements of gases. 78% of it is nitrogen, 21% is oxygen, and the remaining 1% is argon, carbon dioxide, and other components. These elements provide suitable conditions to sustain life. We and other species highly depend on the oxygen we breathe. Air also plays a vital role in regulating Earth's climate behavior. It serves as a protective cushion that acts as insulation to mitigate our temperature. Therefore, the air is an essential component of life.
Oxygen cycle. What is oxygen? Oxygen is one of the main components of the Earth's atmosphere. It can always be found with other elements. The oxygen cycle. Oxygen atoms present in the Earth circulate through a series of intricate processes. So here are the steps of the oxygen cycle. Step 1. Plants release oxygen into the atmosphere as a byproduct of photosynthesis. Step 2. Animals take in oxygen through the process of respiration. Step 3. Carbon dioxide is released by animals and used in plants in photosynthesis. And that's the oxygen cycle.
Invasive species are plants, bacteria, fungi, or animals that cause discourse when introduced to a new area. These species compete with native wildlife for resources and thrive at the expense of the local environment. But not all hurt the ecosystem. How do these invasive species even come about, I can hear you ask? Well, the answer is humans. While some are unintentional, humans tend to bring in creatures and do things in the name of progress, without even thinking about the repercussions it could have on the local ecosystem. It costs us trillions of dollars to even rehabilitate the area once it is affected. I would like to ask you the question, are we invasive? We create smoke and pollution in the air that harms our planet, environment, and even ourselves. We hurt the area with our giant factories and emissions with no idea on what it could happen to the local wildlife. Think about the environment around you and think about what we have done as a species.
As we all know, the Earth is composed of four major subsystems, namely the lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and the biosphere. Humans have affected many of these spheres and the very core system of it by their anthropogenic activities. Humans are important environmental agents, and with anthropogenical processes existing everywhere, it may influence the occurrence, frequency, and intensity of natural hazards. Some human activities that contribute to this are pollution, burning of fossil fuels, and deforestation. With humans continuously burning fossil fuels, Carbon dioxide is also being continuously emitted, and the oxygen cycle is being disrupted. This leads to the net increase of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, which is the very cause of global warming and air pollution. These various anthropogenic activities have triggered various natural hazards and problems in the Earth, such as climate change, the rise of poor air quality, the melting of the glaciers, and the rise of water levels all around the globe.
Good day everyone, my name is Brioso and I'm the one who's going to be explaining the topic epigenetics. So, epigenetics is the study of how behaviors and the environment can cause changes that affect the way your genes work. The question we tackle is, how do epigenetics change over time? Epigenetics can change over time. To put into perspective, let's say a person and his or her clone were birthed but separated. Both people living very distinct lives with different experiences faced by both of them. Then comes the second factor, which is their age. DNA methylation was recorded for both persons at birth, again at age 26, and finally at age 103 years old. A newborn baby has had the highest DNA methylation, while the one recorded 103 years old had the lowest. Then finally, the third factor, which is reversibility. An example would be if a person smokes. Smokers tend to have a lower DNA methylation compared to non-smokers. However, should the person quit smoking, the DNA methylation may return to normal levels. In conclusion, epigenetics is the result of how one's environment affects their lifestyle. Certain factors such as food taken for nourishment, vices such as smoking or drinking, can affect epigenetics along with their health and physical condition. A change in the environment such as air quality with traces of air pollutants such as tobacco, smoke belching, and other forms of gas emissions could affect the DNA methylation of humans in an affected area.
With this info video, we have learned what the oxygen cycle does, what invasive species affect oxygen, the anthropogenic effects, and the field of study of epigenetics. Our goal has always been to make the world a better place to live. However, our activities for the past decades say otherwise. Instead of making the world a better place, we made it worse. Instead of making a better future, we are slowly destroying the future. The so-called advancement in well-being is putting us and the environment at a disadvantage. Because of the greenhouse gas effect, the surface temperature is rising. Gases such as carbon dioxide and methane are increasing in the Earth's atmosphere. As mentioned before, carbon dioxide is a part of the air we breathe, but mass production of this absorbs and retains heat that would have otherwise escaped from the Earth. By the end of this century, sea levels will rise 7 to 23 inches, which means that natural disasters such as hurricanes, thunderstorms, snow, and others will be more extreme as air pollution continues. However, Earth is still a resilient planet. We still have the chance to correct our mistakes, convert to renewable resources, global leaders focusing on cleaner energy, less but clever personal consumption to mitigate waste. But the most important of all is to be environmentally conscious and knowledgeable and spread this to other people in the hopes of change and a brighter future ahead of us.